All right, awesome. Okay, thank you everybody for joining us again in our conversation series. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Amanda Devison and I am the Vice President of Business and Professional Women of Greater Moncton. We've been trying to really bring a lot of women and women-related topics to you, especially during this time in COVID. So we can't be together physically, but we can certainly be together virtually. And so we've had some amazing speakers, and tonight is no exception. So we are working hard at BPW to help women connect, learn, grow, and advocate. So what we're trying to talk about falls into any one of those buckets or a combination of those buckets at any given time. For tonight, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. And if we don't get to them during the chat, I'll make sure that Melissa gets them so that she can follow up with you, or she can comment in the thread and all that fun stuff. So before I hand things over and chat with Melissa, I'm going to give a little introduction to her. So if you don't know who she is, you will now. And if you know who she is, well, you'll know a little more. So there you go. So Melissa Doucet is a graduate of the University of Ottawa and a Moncton resident since 2007. Melissa is a proud mom of 3 boys, a serial entrepreneur, an award-winning realtor, a baseball lover, and is book obsessed. She attributes her success not only to her passion for the real estate industry, but also for her love for her community. If Melissa's not found selling a home, she's probably playing outside with her sons, camping, networking, or drafting her next business plan. Dedicated to excellence, Melissa has distinguished herself in an entrepreneurial journey with several professional recognitions. In 2020, she was one of the winners of the top 20 under 40 in Greater Moncton. Known for her peculiar laugh and knowledge of random facts, she's proud of the strong woman she has become. She's also a BPW member. So without further ado, please help me welcome Melissa Doucet. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, and just a disclaimer,
Thank you for
everybody.
inviting me.
There's a crazy winter storm happening outside. So if there's any sound issues, internet issues, video issues, blame the storm. And we're trying our best here. So keep your fingers crossed and hopefully it'll all work out for the best. So first of all, I want to say huge congratulations to you for the multitude of awards you've been winning this year and previous years. That's very, very exciting. I love to see that. You're a young, energetic, passionate woman in Moncton, and it's cool to see that that's being recognized in a variety of different ways in different sectors. So first of all, props on that. Very cool.
Thank you.
I've also been loving your social media posts lately, very much focused on local and a lot of different places I didn't know existed in the area. So you're kind of highlighting a lot of different ways people get involved. So that's really cool as well. So shout out for that. There's so many things I want to talk to you about. So we'll try to get through. We'll see what we get through. We might have to do a part 2 someday, but we'll see where we get. So first thing that I want to kind of dive into. So you're in real estate. You have a variety of different clients, obviously. So one of the things that we want to touch on tonight is income properties. So a lot of times, or at least from what I understand from you and I going back and forth a little bit, is a lot of it is male dominated. So it's more men buying income producing properties than perhaps women. So I want to get your thoughts on that, and then we'll kind of see where we go in that conversation. But
absolutely. So it's actually funny because most of my clients that are investors are women, which I love. And I would love to have more for a lot of reasons. First, because I think that we need more women in any decision. So we need more CEOs, we need more women in powers, we need more women with wealth, we need more women just taking decisions for a lot of reasons. And this comes to real estate investment, which is a perfect way to start building your wealth. I'm a strong believer in passive income. I think that we should all have like 4 to 5 passive income, like multiple streams of passive income. And I think this one is one of a very, very good one, but also a very unknown one, if you want.
Right.
And if women could be able to build their wealth, we could probably be able to have a little bit more power and presence, if you want, presence. But also for a personal reason, I think that women deal with their hearts. And I do think that women take decisions based on values and ethics. And I mean, we cannot hide ourselves from what we're seeing in the news lately with a lot of people buying new properties for investment and then playing the gray area, I like to say, using the fact that we don't have a cap in New Brunswick on rents, that there's easy way to take those people that are renting right now and technically put them on the street by using their renovation clause. And I don't think this is a smart way. I think people are investing right now and buying investment properties because they know it makes money. And don't get me wrong, it does. But it's also a shelter for people. It's also a home for people. So we're buying people's home, not just an investment. So
Right.
there is way to make money in investment property and income property without without breaking ethics, without digging through different areas of like putting people on the street to raise rents 40% or 30% or 50% or whatever they're doing. And I have firsthand knowledge of that because I have investors that are making money and are not doing it that way.
Right.
So those are all my reasons. Plus, working with a woman is so fun. Seeing women
Yeah.
grow in this
So
business is really fun too.
I
So
do think too, like what you say. So, I mean, it's very well known that women are community minded and collective minded, and that for every dollar a woman makes, something like 78 cents of it is spent on other people like around her. So the fact that, you know what I mean, they would bring that kind of mentality to an investment property as well. And I do know what you're saying too. I had read a couple of those articles, and it is kind of jarring when you read those things of those people getting those notices of their rent is literally doubling in, like, you know, and it
absolutely.
is done in a way designed to, these people, they know these people can't afford to stay there, and it's kind of a
No.
way to get around evicting them, I guess, or
Yeah.
whatever, because now they've bought the property and they're just going to jack the rents. And especially in this market. So the real estate market in Moncton has been crazy. It's going
Yeah.
gangbusters in Brunswick in general.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Seeing lots of properties, people buying properties sight unseen, lots of virtual tours,
Yes.
people moving from across the country, haven't even seen the house, like bidding wars. There's one on the corner from where I live. It was on the market for 9 hours.
There's one on
Like,
every corner.
it was
Like that.
insane.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
what has that experience been like for you? Like in this, I know it's that normal dynamics for Moncton. So you've
Yes.
been doing real estate for a while. So what has that been like to go from where it would normally be normal to this kind of picked up speed?
I think that in any business, the power of adaptation is something that you need to be able to navigate through different season, I would say. So this is a completely different season for real estate in Moncton. And I would say personally, so I can only speak for my experience, not everybody's experience, but last year from March to like May, I did absolutely nothing because I was trying to juggle what was happening. Like, it's a pandemic. What is a pandemic? I've never lived through that. Like, nobody else can live through that. So I really wanted to concentrate on self-care because I burnt out completely during that time. Also on my children, how am I going to be a mom in this pandemic, and how can I be a mom and a realtor and a business owner? And I mean, everything felt like it was crumbling down. So I really took like 2 good months to figure out how was I going to serve my clients in this. And then things just started happening. I mean, it did help that we went into yellow.
Yes.
So that opened up
And
a lot of
summer
possibilities
came and
for
we could
me.
be outside. Yep.
Exactly. So there was a lot of things. So and what was fun about it, Joe, is that I'm proud to be able to now serve my clients by doing virtual tours. I learned how to do a virtual tour. I learned how to explain to someone who is buying a house sight unseen what they want to see. Also, I have an amazing team that works with me. And by team, I mean mortgage brokers, inspectors. Inspectors are going above and beyond to explain the house to clients. So I'm very lucky that in the real estate world, we're seeing things move. I mean, I had an amazing year. I'm really grateful for it. It's not the same case for everybody. So, you know, there's still this little feeling when I say that I feel kind of weird saying that. But I think it's because we were able to adapt. It is something that we were able to do. And every time that a client asks me, I'm like, would you buy a house without seeing it? I'm like, I don't know. But I'll make sure that you're happy once you get in the house. But I don't know how I would feel if I would have to make that decision. But it's to be able to adapt
Yes.
to quick changes, I mean, we never know what's going to happen, right? So we were so
Mhm.
comfortable before this pandemic, like
Yeah.
routine wise and
Yep. Mhm.
everything, and not just in business, like even in home life. Like, I'm not going to be a teacher anytime soon. Like, honestly, if there's something that I've learned,
You cross
I
that off
don't
the
know
list.
why 2 + 2 makes 4. It just does, right? I mean, I'm not going to
Because
be a
math.
teacher, that's for sure.
That's
But
it.
yeah, whatever, it's just what it is, right?
Yep.
Learn it. But yeah, and hats off to all those teachers that are doing this, like Zoom.
Mhm.
And I mean,
Mhm.
it's crazy, but it's also beautiful at the same time.
Yep.
I find it also beautiful to see that we were able to adapt. And I
Mhm.
do think, and I do feel, and like you said, I've been sharing a lot of stuff from the community, because
Mhm.
I feel this attachment now that I didn't have
Yeah,
before.
you a
Like
level of
before, I used to dream
appreciation.
about, absolutely, and I used to dream about seeing the world, and now I'm
Mhm.
like, wow, what does my profit has to give to me that I've never seen before, because I've never really took time to visit
Yeah.
it, right? it
Mhm.
was it was just given, and now I'm just craving to go to St. John, and I can't, right? I'm like, there's some great beaches, like great pictures I could take over there, why can't I go? Right? So
Yep. Yep.
so it's very interesting. So I'm actually seeing a lot of positive, to be honest, in
Yeah, I think
business and in
there
personal
is
life.
positive to be found. Some days
Yeah.
are easier than others, obviously, and some circumstances are different for different people.
Hmm.
But I do think there are some positives. We are seeing some positives, thankfully. Um, so definitely, I would say like flexibility and curiosity have kind of been the things that'll get you through this pandemic. Is just if you stay
Yes.
curious and be willing to change, pivot, just pivot, 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 pivot. Because one
Pivot.
day we're
Yes.
one color, next day we're the next color. One day it's this, one day it's that. You just got to be like, all right, cool, and just
Absolutely.
go.
Yeah.
So in saying that the real estate market now is crazier in Moncton, should that give
Hmm.
anyone hesitation to consider purchasing properties, or is it still a good time to be looking at investment properties?
Absolutely. Because I think even more, because the investment world is not the same thing as buying a home. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, if you do your numbers, if you don't buy the property over asking, like a lot is happening, if you work with a professional basically that can show you how you can make a profit, it doesn't matter if the real estate market goes up or down. If you buy it and the numbers works, you should
Mm-hmm.
be okay for a couple of years, and then you can easily adapt your profit, right? So you can
Mm-hmm.
easily add 10% to your rent, like not 40%, but 10%. If you do the roof, if you do the if you pave, if you do new balconies, if you offer some renovation inside,
Mm-hmm.
it is not worth 40%, but it could easily be worth 10%. And this is what investment is all about. If you invest in your investment, then it will grow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yep.
you're also, one thing that we should not forget is you're also providing a service, which is a roof. So this is the main value of your business by having an income property. But no, I would not say that it is. It might be, you might need more patience, but
Right.
which is something, patience, sorry, which is something that you do have when you're buying an income property, because you're not like in lingo with two houses, right? You're
Mm,
looking for the perfect investment. So
yes.
if you have patience, and you are willing to work with a realtor who can do your numbers for you, then
Yeah.
you can have a really sound investment, no matter what the real estate market is. And that goes the same for properties. A lot of people are afraid of buying properties and putting their house on the market. But again, we're professionals. I
Mm-hmm.
would not
Mm-hmm.
advise someone to sell their houses if I know that they cannot find something right now, and if I know that their
Right.
house is going to go really quick, which I know it will. I
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
have some connection with Airbnbs. I have some connection with people who can house them. I will not let somebody on the street for the name of money because I'm making
Yeah.
commissions, right? This is not
Yeah.
me at all. And
Yeah.
I'm quite proud of it. I get proud of it, if you want, right?
Yeah, and at the same time too, because you don't want people to be in a position to feel like they need to buy the next house they see
No.
or overpay for the next house just to have a
Yeah.
house. There has to,
Yeah. We should not settle.
yeah,
They should not settle. I hate the word settling. I guess we'll just settle for this. No, you need to fall in love. This is the house. This is a big
you're going to
investment.
be there. It's a big
Let's
investment. You're
fall
going to
in
be there a
love,
long
people.
time. Yeah,
Right?
yeah, but you
Yeah.
should love it. Yeah.
Yes, you
So
should definitely love it.
I definitely agree with you about working with a professional, especially if there's something you have never gotten into. Um, there's a lot of variables out there.
Mm-hmm.
With my banker hat on, I agree. Like, you need to talk to some people. You need to talk
Mm-hmm.
to a real estate agent. You should talk to maybe an accountant, a banker, talk to a bunch of people, talk to everybody.
Yes.
Because it is a big investment. But it is something, again, that could be right for you. And
Mm-hmm.
I want to rewind a little bit. So before we were talking about passive income, if people don't understand what we mean by that, essentially it's another stream of revenue that's coming into
Mm-hmm.
you. Like, while you're asleep, it's making you money. Like, while you're doing your other job, it may not be you're not necessarily leaving your job to become, a real estate mogul. It's just that you own these properties and they have a set amount of income, and that is coming into you as an
Mm-hmm.
income stream, passively. You're not actively,
Mm-hmm.
pursuing those dollars. It's because you own this property that it's generating income. So that's why,
Absolutely.
a lot of times too, you'll see, like, when you look at the, um, long historied families, it's always property, or even royalty, right? They have so much property because it's
Yes.
it's valuable, it's an
Yes.
investment. So for women, it's also relatively new, because not that long ago we couldn't even own property. We couldn't even have a bank account without your
Yeah.
husband signing off. So
Yeah.
that's another reason why a lot of times wealth generationally has been through, the male of the family passing it down. And now we're seeing
Absolutely.
huge groups of women, inheriting money from their
Yeah.
parents, money and property. And also now we're seeing a new wave of women trying to get into things like real estate investments. So if I'm
Mm-hmm.
someone that's curious about investing in an income property, what are some of the things, other than talking to a professional, an expert, like what are some of
Mm-hmm.
the other things that perhaps I should be like weighing out? Is there like a little mini checklist you think people should go through? Like, what is your
Yes.
advice when it comes to that?
Well, definitely. I always tell, like, first you need to talk to your banker. That's the first thing that you need to do. You need to figure out what you can invest in. Talk to your financial planner, not player, financial planner, to figure
Yep.
out what you're able to invest and if it's a good reason for you. Because, like you said, passive income, it's your rent, but it's also the equity that you're putting into
Yep.
the home. So equity is extremely important, right? And that is a big part of your passive income with income properties. And then you should also start thinking, are you going to manage it yourself, or
Hmm.
are you going to hire property management? And if you manage yourself, then you have a lot of cost. So it's expenses and costs that you have to put towards your rent, so to see how much you're making at the end of the month. So that's why you have to, so I have a formula that we usually work together,
Yep.
so it's hard to explain just like that. But then you need to realize, like, okay, so am I ready if there is a big expense, so I don't know that the roof is just going to cave in.
Right.
I mean, worst case scenario, the roof is caving in a year. Am I able to fix it? And if I
Hmm.
fix it, will I be able to recover the amount of money that I'm going to put in there in a year or 2 years?
Yep.
And if I'm doing the property management, well, now I have a list of tasks and I need to be ready for. So plumbing could
Hmm.
go. Do I have a plumber on call? So basically, this is a very good business if you're prepared for everything. And this
Hmm.
is what I like to do with my clients, like to sit down with them and explain to them, this is what you're going to do in the first year and forward, and this is what you need to be ready for.
Hmm.
And then if you want a property management, then that's a cost too, that
Yes.
will
Yep.
also take off your profit.
Hmm.
So to figure out your profit, and also to figure out if it's right for you. So I do believe strongly that everybody should have passive income, but the right passive income for your personality. Are you ready to have an income property? I mean, without a property manager, it's not really passive. I mean, you're
Yeah,
gonna
it's
work a
true.
lot
Yeah, you're
for
going to
it.
be in the
You're gonna
trenches. Yeah.
receive. Absolutely. And then you need to know your numbers too. Are you willing to work with a bad tenant? And if there is a bad tenant, how are you going to proceed?
Hmm.
So there's a lot of questions. So to be prepared, this is
Yep.
what you should. And then after this is all done, let's say you're prepared, you're ready, the roof could cave in, you could have the worst tenant in the world, and you're still ready to go for it. Then we need to talk about location. We need to
Hmm.
talk about what they're ready to invest in. Do you
Hmm.
want a duplex, or do you want a triplex, or do you want a fourplex? And then if you go over fourplex, that this becomes a different kind of investment,
Yes. Yep.
um, different kind of mortgage.
Hmm.
So it's a
Hmm.
lot of it's a lot of knowledge that you need to gain. But what I love about it is once you gain it and once you know it, after the first one, it starts to just grow. You can
Yeah.
easily know when there's a good deal, and you
Mhm.
can easily take equity from your first income property to be able to buy your
Buy the
second
next
income
one.
property, and then buy the third, and then next thing you know, you have 18 doors and you're just good.
Mm.
Right?
You're just
So
laughing at that point.
you're just laughing at that point, and then I don't know, drinking martinis, and no, I'm kidding.
Maybe
But yeah,
traveling when the world opens again.
absolutely. Traveling and buying property in Costa Rica.
There you go. There you go. But yeah, no, it is a very important point. And again, it's something you could work through with people is the cash flow. You need to understand
Yes.
essentially, is the cash coming in greater than the cash going out, and by how
Mhm.
much? Because like you said, you're going to need a buffer if something goes off the rails. And is there enough that is the percentage you would pay a property manager um, greater than or less than what it would cost you in time, in effort, in headaches, in 2 a.m. phone calls if you
Mhm.
wanted to do it yourself. So
Yes.
it is going to depend, I think, again, like you said, it is definitely more passive if you have someone managing the property, because um, if you're the one managing the property, it's not very passive. It's probably going to be
It's not.
things that you would never even think of, like you said, because depends on the
Absolutely.
personalities. These are people's homes. You're going to be dealing with different personalities, people at different stages of their life, people that are going to need and want different things from their home.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
there's going to be a lot
So
of
I
that.
feel like absolutely, and I feel like my job is to, okay, so you want to invest in real estate? Sure. Let's figure out the perfect match for you, and then
Mhm.
we're going to start searching. So it's kind
Yeah.
of a matchmaker. Well, I'm a matchmaker. All realtors are matchmakers, right? So
Mhm.
and I love that I'm wearing like red lips, and then there's red lips there, and I'm saying I'm a matchmaker. So anyway, I think I'm dressing the part tonight.
February, you're just, it's
So
good. It's good. You're matching the theme.
absolutely. In my still renovating room. I mean, the background is less interesting, but anyway, that's another story. But yeah, so I think this is what it is. It's just making the right match. And when you jump into a real estate investment, and I think that happens a lot to a lot of people, they wake up one day and they're like, you know what? I want to buy an income property. And then they
Mhm.
buy one and then they have a bad experience and they
Right.
stop. And that's not how you build wealth. There's a
No.
big reason, there's a big difference between money and being rich and being wealthy. And I
Mhm.
think that this is the perfect journey to wealth is buying income properties, building equity, having some rent. I mean, saving all that for a rainy day, and then one day you realize that you're a lot wealthier than you thought you were because you make your numbers with your
Yes.
financial planner.
Exactly.
But yeah,
Because yeah, like you said, there's a lot of hidden costs. Like there's lawn maintenance, there's
absolutely,
insurance,
absolutely.
there's repairs, there's all that stuff that you may not think of. It's not just, utilities. Like there's all kinds of things that, so it's not even just, oh, well, I'm going to charge these people X number of bucks a month and, I'll be
That's gonna
laughing.
be it.
It's
No,
not all,
Mhm.
it's not all going in the bank. So,
No.
um, but I do think it's an interesting opportunity. Like I said, for women, it's an interesting time. Women are coming into more wealth than ever before, just with the transition from
Absolutely.
the boomers downward. So it's an
Hmm.
interesting time, and it is something that women should be curious about and ask
Hmm.
questions about. So don't be scared about it. Talk to people. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And at the end, if you do a lot of exploring and it's not for you, then it's not for you. But it could very much be for you. It could be something you thoroughly enjoy, and you could be one of very few in the Moncton area, at least, I guess, that are perhaps participating in that, or the club could have
hmm,
grown significantly by then. Um,
hmm,
but yeah, I definitely think it's something people don't think about. People think about, oh, well, I'll stuff in my RRSP, or if they have a defined contribution plan at work, or they have some play money in the stock market
yeah,
at the most extreme. But this is a completely, like you said, it's a completely different type of investment, and it is
yes,
one that does have the equity grow in it, especially too, like you said, if you invest in it, do some repairs and some renovations. A lot of women do enjoy that as well, like
yeah,
interior design and just design in general. So these are some aspects that may play on perhaps some of their personal interests, but allows them to
absolutely.
incorporate that into like a financial investment manner, and it kind of goes from there. And again, if you go into it with the correct mindset, you're creating a home for
Absolutely.
people,
Yes,
and you're helping someone else's life as well versus just, you know,
absolutely.
making a
Well,
few bucks.
all business decisions should completely be based on your ethics and on your values, right? So, I mean, built if you build your business with heart, you're going to have a business for a long time.
Hmm.
And if you built your business to make money, then you're going to crash someday and it's going to be very ugly. And I strongly believe in that. And I could probably give you a lot of examples, but we won't go. And I could just say President of the United States, well, past president. Well, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like there's a
Yeah.
lot of, and he was really into real estate. So I mean,
Yep.
right? So, but I mean, there's a lot of businesses that need to start with a good foundation, a foundation of love, which I think that love is the answer for all, like always. And I know it sounds corny, but it's true.
Hmm.
Um, and also something that I want to say out there and put out there is that if you have questions and if you just want to talk about it, please ask me out. I love coffee. But
Even the virtual
honestly,
kind.
because oh yeah, virtual kind. I mean, I guess I can't wait to have coffee with people, but I'm not
I
zoomed out
know, I
yet.
know.
So but yeah, because there's a lot of opportunities that people don't think about. Like, yes, you can buy an income property and have long-term tenants. That's kind of just the first thing people think of. But what about Airbnbs? What about short-term rentals?
Hmm.
What about recreational businesses?
Hmm.
What about having some experiences? And like, I went to this, like, they're little bubbles, right? I'm not saying that I have a
In the
listing of
domes,
those
yep.
little bubbles, the domes, yeah. And I mean, that is absolutely crazy, but that's an income property. They're
Hmm.
making $250 a year a night on those little things, right? So there's a lot of opportunities there to use like real estate and use properties
Right.
to build wealth and build income streams.
Hmm.
And I think it's fascinating. And if we look at Europe, they have even more than us. And I'm
Hmm.
just starting to study that because I think it is. Well, I'm going to use the word, I guess. It's fascinating,
Hmm.
the amount of opportunities that we could have with real estate that we're actually not taking advantage of here in New Brunswick. Plus, we have the most gorgeous province ever, right? So, I mean, we have
Yes.
the water and trees like 20 minutes apart. I mean,
Yep.
there's so many big opportunities.
Hmm.
So, as a real estate standpoint, as a realtor, I love those income properties, but also as an entrepreneur, and I mean, with square inch homes and the tiny homes that we're building, um, that is another something that's something else I'm super interested at. So
Right.
anytime coffee's even on me, like I would love I devour that subject. Like for me, it's so interesting and I'm very passionate. I mean, you could see my hands are going all over the place. Like that's passion.
So tell us a little bit
But yeah,
about
no.
the small homes. Like how did you get
Yes.
into that? What started that? How is it going in New Brunswick? Like what is that?
Well, I'll just start and be completely honest and say that COVID really hurt us.
Yeah.
We had a lot of projects on the go, and then when COVID hit, I mean, the construction materials are like the prices are up the roof. We are proud to say that we are affordable housing, and we can't really be
Mm,
affordable housing right now with those prices. But again, we had to adapt, and we're adapting, and it's start like I don't know how I do have partners, so I don't know how much I can say right now.
right. No, that's fair. That's
But
fair. Yeah. If you want
but
to
it's
speak in
very
general
interesting.
about the small home movement in general, like what does that look like in New Brunswick? Is
So
there
how I started this is my business partner, which is Nicole, is an interior designer, and she loved tiny homes for like she's been talking. She's also a really good friend of mine, and she's the one who's designed this big house that we're renovating. And she used to talk about tiny homes a lot, and I did have interest in it. I was more curious.
Mhm.
But then I got really interested in what we could do with some accessory buildings at the back of our homes, so we could easily have smaller homes at the back of our home
Mhm.
and have our parents there
Right.
instead of putting them in homes, right? Or we could have a little pool house, and who designs those pool house? So I mean, anything that we can build under 850 square foot is what I'm interested at. Is
Okay.
the possibility of what we could do. So anyway, I was driving down and because I drive like this. No, I was driving and And I just had this. I'm like, okay, tiny homes, accessory buildings. I had a dream of building like a big like land full of A-frames that I could rent, right? Like all that, and it just dawned on me. I'm like, we have a business here. This is something that we don't see in New Brunswick, right? Well, in Moncton specifically. So then anyway, I called her and I'm like, Nicole, and she's like, Melissa, because I usually text, right? And when I call, I mean business. So I'm like, you know those little tiny homes? Let's have a business. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm in. I'm your partner. Let's do this. Do you want to do this? And she's like, well, can I just think? I'm like, no, we don't have time to think.
Yeah,
like,
you can think about it right now. You can think about it, but I need an answer immediately.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we started like studying it, and she's been building plans, and after, we wanted to be like 100% customizable. So customizable.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Customizable.
French, the French is coming in then. Um, but then COVID stopped us. So this is where it kind of got complicated, because we can't really build custom if we can't really price what, like, so it became really complicated.
Yeah.
So now we're going into the prefab. Now I'm allowed to say that because I did post that on Facebook. we were going on the prefab movement, but there's more to come. So we want to build and then sell from what we're building. So there's something coming in May, and I'm going to stop there.
Okay.
Follow me on social media. You'll know everything. I mean, I called Nicole. Can I say it? Can I post it on my stories, please? And she's like, not now, Melissa. I'm like, okay. I'm such a child. Like I'm the worst partner. Fine. I really want everybody to know. And she's like, wait, we're not ready. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. But yeah, no.
Well, that's exciting though.
Yes.
So going back to your comment about business being like, about your values and ethics, and that, based around love and put your heart into it. So I know a lot of your business is a huge percent, like 80% of your business is referrals from previous clients. So can you tell us a bit about that? Like do you have a process you go through to ensure, like, what was your thought process around making sure that if I bought a house from you, that I want to tell the next 20 people to buy their house from you?
Yes, I care. This is what I really this is the thing. I really care, and you need to keep in touch. You need to. So when I meet, let's say, let's start the process with a first home buyer. So when you buy your first home, it's the biggest investment you'll ever make in your life, for sure. Well, at the moment, I guess. So then you're buying this home, but this cannot be your dream home. And that's what I tell all my clients. It cannot be your dream home, because you're going to have 3 other homes probably in your life. And this needs to be the foundation of you building towards your dream homes. This needs to be an investment. So you need to buy smart, and you need to buy with your brain and not your heart. This is kind of like going over what I've been saying from the start, right? But anyway, let's forget that. But yeah, you need to buy smart, and you need to buy with somebody who cares about your investment. And I care. So I tend to keep those clients because, and it's been 5 years, right? I'm going on my 6 years in real estate, and I'm seeing that turnaround come. Those clients are starting to call me and be like, well, Melissa, I'm thinking of selling because I had this promotion, my family is growing, I have a third kid on the go coming soon. So and I am so happy to be able to give them a market analysis of their home and telling them, like, you're making a profit, plus you're getting back what you put in, right? So this is level 1 for me. I care. And because I care, 2 weeks after they move in, I know that I've prepared them enough, that we had the inspection done, that everything is good with the house, that they fell in love with the house as much as it is a smart investment. I'm not afraid of calling them and being like, hey, how's the house? Do you like it? Do you have any questions?
You know the answer,
Exactly. Can I help you more? Is there anything you want? And then they'll get a personal greeting card from me on Christmas, because again, I care. I built relationship. Because for me, if I don't build relationship, I have no reason of having a business. Why am I having a business? To build relationship, to build connection, to build something with people, to help people, right? So because of that, I keep in touch. So I always keep it. I have a monthly newsletter. I send cards. I send birthday cards. I have an amazing assistant. I'm not going to take all credits for this. Chloe's been helping me like crazy. She knows when I should write a card. She knows when to send the
Right.
card, but everything is down. And I take time at Christmas to write a little message because I remember them, because I built a relationship. When there's a baby coming, there's a gift coming. When there's, so I mean, I take them as kind of a family to a certain point.
Right.
They're my work family, and it's been extending every year. And when they're, and I'm not going to say that all the experiences were good. I had some bad experiences. This is how I learned also to say no to some clients, which is something I'm very proud of. But building that, people are not afraid of calling me back. They remember me. And
Right.
and real estate is a real, it's a relationship based business. So I mean, you could have the biggest billboard, you could have the biggest social media presence, and then I could see you every day. But if my friend tells me that I'm going to have a really good experience with somebody else, I'm going to go to that somebody else, even if I've
Yeah.
never seen him before. So
Yeah.
it's a referral for me. And I remember when I first started in real estate, I was told that, and I'm like, no, I worked in marketing before, right? I'm like, marketing is the way to go. This is what you have to do.
Yeah.
I have to be everywhere. I have to spend like thousands of dollars to put my face everywhere. And then I realized, no, it's actually service. It's actually relationship. And the amount of time that I had a client not come back to me, I don't think I can count them on my hand. I'm really proud of that because I care.
Yeah.
Comes to the first thing that I saw, right? So,
Yeah,
but there
and
is a process to it.
I think
It
too
takes time.
that definitely goes back to, and it can be applied to kind of any industry. So it's like if you're a business owner
Mhm.
or if you're in, like even myself, I'm in a relationship management position, right? So it's not the Royal Bank of Amanda, but I work there and I care for my clients and I care about my clients, and I'm going to make sure I explain everything thoroughly and make sure I understand their business and get them the right options at the right time. And so, and that does, because at the again, real estate, banking, highly competitive. You know what I mean? Bankers are a dime a dozen, real estate
Yeah,
agents dime a dozen.
yeah,
If you need to have something that
absolutely,
differentiates you, and that should
absolutely.
be the care, because unfortunately it's very rare for for people to actually care. Atlantic, it's
Oh
more
yeah,
abound than it is if you were to go in some bigger cities. But even still, people get caught up in the ego of whatever their role is and forget about the people at the end of it. So, oh, are you still there?
absolutely.
Okay, your video's frozen, so I wasn't sure if you're still there. But can you hear me?
Oh, for me, what you said. Okay, now you're back.
Okay, you're still frozen for me, but if I
Yes.
can, okay, but I can hear you, so we'll go with that. So, um, so yeah, so let me see, what else did I want to talk about here? It kind of threw me for a loop there. So real estate, um, career in real estate. So is there a lot of women, a lot of men? Is it pretty balanced? Oh, you disappeared. Are you there?
Are you there?
Oh, I'm here now. We don't have any video for you. We just have your photo, but
We're adapting.
I can hear you. So can you, and you can hear me now? Yes. Oh my God, I can't believe we're having this whole technology problem.
I don't know.
I can hear you. Do you have to put a different headset in maybe?
Okay, I can hear you too.
Oh, I think we lost you. Yep. We lost Melissa. Um, all right, guys. I'm going to end. Oh, wait. Are you there?
Oh, now it's back.
Oh my God. Okay, so can you hear me? Oh, crap.
I can't hear
We're having
you.
such a time.
Okay, now I can, but I can't see you.
Oh my God, we might have to call it a day.
See, but we had this big conversation about how we should adapt, and we're adapting to this storm right now.
How we're doing? Is this our big pivot? Oh my God, what is happening?
Oh, I see you.
You can see. Oh my goodness. I don't know. What do you want to do? Should we just?
I don't know. I see you, but you're kind of.
I know you're totally,
Cute, but
you're totally frozen right now. It's pretty funny. Okay, I think we should I think we'll wrap it up and we'll try again. You and I will connect and find another day to kind of round out our conversation.
My light just blinked. So I think that I'm maybe losing electricity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right, everybody. Sorry for the technology problems. Melissa and I will reconnect on another date and we will pop on for probably
I can actually.
Oh my God. Can you hear me now? You're still frozen.
I'm just.
She's gone again. I should have like some sort of theme music here to kind of.
Oh, we're back.
Are you there? I can't see you. Melissa? All right, I'm going to shut it down. This is kind of, I don't even know if yeah, there's still a bunch of people watching us, so that's delightful. I hope they're humored. I hope everybody's having a pretty good laugh. So Melissa and I,
should I go?
Yes! It's okay. I will follow up with you. We'll find another time to do like another 15, 20 minutes. Oh my God, you're gone again. Anyways, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Sorry for the technology issues. We appreciate it. We were kind of on a roll. We'll get back there. Thanks again. If you have any questions for Melissa, post them down below. Make sure she gets them and we'll get to them next time we connect. Hopefully it'll be soon. As soon as I have a date, we'll post it on our page. So thanks again, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you again soon and stay safe out there. Bye.